Welcome to another episode, everybody, of the Cobra Daytona Build. On this episode, I'm going to kind of prep this NRG steering wheel quick release adapter. Many guys on the forum have adapted this to run with the Russ Thompson, which I'm going to pick up tomorrow in his hometown, which is actually only about maybe 35 miles from my house. So I'm going to go over and meet him and pick up the steering wheel turn signal adapter that he makes. And then I'm going to adapt this to that because everybody says you got to have the quick steering wheel release to get in and out of these Daytonas. Just makes life a little bit easier. So that's my goal. So follow along and we'll show you how to prep this. I know there's some good write-ups on the forum, the Factory 5 forum, which I highly recommend you get on. But we'll actually show you video. So kind of show you how to set this thing up because it seems a little tricky, but once I've looked at it a little bit, no big deal. Okay, so looking forward to having you along, and if you like this video, please hit subscribe. Thanks. Okay, so we've got our NRG. I think it's the model SRK-400, and I got the carbon fiber one. Don't know, you know. So that's the way this thing works. So we need to adapt this to our Russ Thompson, which I'll pick up tomorrow. So first thing we gotta do is we gotta take this off, and then we have to mill this whole center section away. So there'll actually be a big hole here, and then the steering wheel will get, or the steering column, this will then go on to this. This gets bolted to the Russ Thompson this way. So this gets milled away. These holes go into the Russ Thompson, but the Russ Thompson's got two pieces that has to be bolted together too. So there's multiple fittings, and I think we got to take some of this off too, but I'm not really sure. I haven't got that far yet. So I'm going to start. So we're going to pull this out. I'm guessing you could probably grind this with that on together, but I think you'd be asking for trouble because you're probably going to mar up that finish. And I'm willing to bet you are. Can't get this one out. There we go. Okay, so now we got to capture that. How does this come out of here? Oh, it's going to come out that way. There we go. And that's the piece that would shoot across the room and you'll lose. So, yeah, as you can see, it's pretty basic. Nothing too crazy. I don't think this goes back in like that. So we need to remove that whole chunk right here. We're going to continue on with our NRG quick release steering wheel. We're going to cut this off. We're going to use a grinder here. I'm going to come in at a hard angle like this. We're going to cut it down close, do it all by hand, and then we'll hit it with a sander to finish it off. So I could run over to a buddy's house and use a mill. We could mill this thing down, make it really nice, but you know, I got to go to his house, and with a grinder I can whack that thing off pretty quickly, and then you know, sanding disc, and time you know it, you'll never be able to tell the difference. So follow along. I'll try to get some helmet cam video of me actually cutting this. So I got to get some earplugs, safety glasses, and we'll get started. Yes, as you can see, all done. So now I'll get the flapper disc on that. I'll grind that down to just start to kiss that. And that should be good, but that was some definite crap metal, so, okay. So now we got a flapper disc on here. We're gonna clean this up. Easy peasy. Okay, and here's the piece we cut off right there. If you want to totally make this flat, we can it's a pretty flat piece of stainless steel here. We could just work it like that. That'll get rid of the highs and lows, but I don't think it's going to be that critical. I have taken off down to that ridge, hit that with a grinder, just ground it down real quick. Now I'm just trying to flatten it out, just clean it up a little bit. We'll clean up these edges, and then we're just waiting for the hub. I'll get the hub tomorrow, and then we'll get that drilled in, and you will have a quick release done, ready to go. I picked up the Russ Thompson turn signal unit, which got to see a shop. Some of the stuff in there does a nice job. I mean, look at that thing. Gorgeous. So this is going to mount like this in the car. Other way, this way. This bolts up underneath the chassis. I can show you where that goes. So this bolts up underneath here. I think the bearing's actually right there too. So it gives you kind of an idea what we're dealing with. So then this is going to get bolted to here with this piece here mounted at the top. So that's where that's going to go. And what I've got to center this is, I think, one of these adapters. Like that. So that is going to center, and Russ actually let me borrow these. Someone had sent them to him, so I'm going to send them back once I use them to make sure that I get this thing drilled right. So this is going to go on here like this, then I'll center punch these holes, drill and tap to make sure I'm also quite a ways away from what I'm dealing with. I don't want to drill into these. We got the unit taken apart. So what we need to do now is we're going to have to countersink these. So we're going to have to drill these out to countersink. So these things will be flush with this face. Because then once they're flush with this face, this will get bolted up into here with our adapter here. All the holes are now countersunk. So you can see it sticks out a little bit right there. I should go down and buy new hardware, but I think I'm probably just going to cut those off. Just cut about 1/4 of an inch off, and then I'll be fine. Making progress on the whole adapter. So what I'm trying to do now is I've got this thing with our bushing set up in here. So we're going to re-drill the steering column to pick up these inner holes here. So I'm going to make sure this thing's perfectly centered, which I think it is. We'll put the hub back on and check and go from there. So I've trial fitted it because you got to have this Russ Thompson. This piece here has got to be towards the top. So I've got to set up on the steering wheel. I'm going to line up those two there, which looks good. So this is the way I want it. So now I'm going to use my transfer punches. We'll punch to the steering wheel and start drilling those out to pick up the inner hub. So now that we know we're good here, we're going to go with these inner holes, and I'll mark them so I don't get messed up. Should be 6 of them. So we're going to go through and I'm going to transfer punch all these. Okay, pull that out. So you can see our marks now, 1, 2, 3, 4. So pretty centered on the wheel, which is good. So now I'm going to drill these things out, and then we'll make the other side so they fit our new 5mm. Because this is how this thing attaches in. It screws into this. Hopefully these aren't too long. They look like they might be. Oh, it's gonna be close. I think I got too long. Thought I got shorter ones than that. Oh, maybe that's the long one I got. Ah. All right, so these ones here are the ones I want. Those should be about perfect. Okay. So we'll drill them out first and then move on. So as you can see, I got the steering wheel drilled now. I got the screws in. I got to pull them back out to chamfer like this so they get flush so the cap can go back on. So we'll pull these back out. I just wanted to make sure it's going to fit. And yeah, that's looking pretty good. So step 1 done. So we got all the screws in. Everything looks good. All fits flush. So now I'll probably pull those back out, put just a little dab of blue Loctite on them, and call it a day. At least with. So this is my Russ Thompson hub. So top to top goes this way. So you can see I've marked it so I know exactly where it needs to go, which actually puts it quite nicely between that. And then I've got my okay, there we go. And then we'll run bolt in just to make sure I got the right drill size, because this whole metric thing really frustrates the crap out of me. So all the holes are drilled now. So I'm gonna go back through and tap them, and then we'll get the hub bolted up. So taps just nice and gentle. Go a little bit, that clears out the chips. And you back kind of go. As soon as it starts to get a little difficult, that's when I kind of go backwards, and then it kind of cleans it out. So here's the hub. As you can see, the bolts, they're all bolted in. I can't find one of the bolts though. I don't know what the hell happened to it. I thought I had all 6, but I'm gonna have to look in the box. I don't know. I just can't find the dang thing. I'm gonna have to go to the hardware store and get one. Or it rolled off the bench. I don't know. Keep looking, but basically that's it. I'll go show it mounted up to the steering column, and this thing, I guess you'd call it done. So other than that, this thing is done. Call that project closed, and then the cap will go here, which, as you can see, it covers up all the holes. This thing no longer fits tight because it used to fit on the Russ Thompson deal, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to figure something out to make that. Probably maybe a little dab of silicone, a couple corners, and that'll hold it in. Can always pry it back out. We'll figure that one out down the road, but at least the quick adapter, as you can see, is done. So, well, thanks again for watching another episode of the Cobra Daytona Build. Hopefully now you can see how easy it is to actually put the NRG quick release adapter onto the Daytona Russ Thompson turn signal. That way you got the best of both worlds. You got the turn signal adapters, and you've got the quick release to be able to get in and out of the car a little bit easier. So hopefully that helps. Again, if you like this video, please hit subscribe, and look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Thank you.